They say the coldest hearts make the cruelest lovers. Joon-Woo Park proved that true every single day. Breaking women like others break promises. He never felt guilty, never looked back, never cared. But everything changed the night a cleaning woman walked into his office at midnight, carrying nothing but a cart and honest eyes. One look at her, and the ice around his heart began to crack in ways that terrified him. The glass shattered against the marble floor, red wine spreading like blood across the white tiles. Victoria stood frozen in her designer heels, mascara running down her perfect face as she stared at the man behind the massive desk. He didn't even flinch at the mess she had just made. "Get out," Joon-Woo Park said, his voice as cold as winter ice. He didn't look up from the papers he was signing. His expensive pen moved smoothly across the page, like her tears meant nothing to him. "But you said we had something special." Victoria's voice cracked. She had been so sure she would be different. All the magazines called her America's top model. Men worshipped her. But this man, this beautiful, dangerous man with his sharp suits and sharper eyes, he treated her like yesterday's newspaper. Joon-Woo finally looked up. His face could have been carved from stone. "I said you were interesting for a weekend. The weekend is over. My driver will take you home." "You're a monster." Victoria grabbed her purse, her hands shaking. "Everyone says you destroy women. They were right. You have no heart." "I never pretended to have one." Joon-Woo returned to his papers. "Close the door on your way out." Victoria ran from the office, her sobs echoing down the hallway. Joon-Woo heard the elevator doors close and allowed himself a small breath. This was his life. Women came and went like seasons. His father had taught him well before he died. Love makes you weak. Weakness gets you killed. In their world, the world of shadows and secrets and dangerous deals, caring about someone was the fastest way to lose everything. He was 28 years old and had never felt his heart beat faster for anyone. That was exactly how he wanted it. The clock on his wall showed 11:30 at night. Joon-Woo stood and walked to the huge windows overlooking New York City. Millions of lights sparkled below like fallen stars. He owned a piece of this city. His family's business, the one his grandfather started and his father expanded, reached into every corner. Some of it was legal, most of it wasn't. He didn't care. Power was all that mattered. His phone buzzed, a message from his brother, Hae-jin. "Mom called again. She wants you to marry Soo-min. Says it's time to settle down and strengthen the family." Joon-Woo deleted the message without responding. Marriage was a trap he had no intention of walking into. He turned off most of the lights in his office, leaving just his desk lamp on. He liked working in the near darkness. It helped him think. He had a meeting tomorrow with some people who owed him money. They would pay, or they would regret it. Simple. The sound of the door opening made him reach for the gun he kept in his desk drawer. Nobody should be here this late except his security team, and they knew better than to enter without knocking. "Oh, I'm so sorry." A woman's voice, soft and genuinely frightened, came from the doorway. "I didn't know anyone was still here. I'm with the new cleaning company. They told me to clean all the executive offices tonight." Joon-Woo's hand relaxed on his gun. He leaned back in his chair, hidden in the shadows, and watched her. She wore a simple blue uniform and carried a cart with cleaning supplies. Her skin was dark and beautiful, catching the little bit of light from the hallway. She wasn't wearing makeup. Her hair was pulled back in a practical style. She looked nothing like Victoria or any of the other women who usually surrounded him. "Come in," he said quietly. The woman jumped, clearly not expecting anyone to answer from the darkness. She squinted, trying to see him. "Sir, I can come back later if you're busy." "I said, come in." Joon-Woo reached over and turned on another lamp. Now she could see him properly, and he could see her face clearly. She had the most honest eyes he had ever seen. They were wide with surprise, but not with the usual hunger he saw in women's faces. She wasn't looking at him like he was a prize to win. She was looking at him like he was simply a person who was in her way of doing her job. It fascinated him. "Yes, sir." She pushed her cart into the office and began gathering the broken glass from Victoria's dramatic exit. She worked carefully, her movements efficient and practiced. "I'll be as quiet as possible, so I don't disturb you." "What's your name?" Joon-Woo asked. He never asked the help their names. He didn't care, but he wanted to know hers. "Nala, sir." She didn't stop working as she answered. "I just started this week." "Where are you from, Nala?" He watched her hands as she wiped up the wine. They were small, but looked strong. Working hands, honest hands. "Kenya, sir. I came to America 2 years ago." She moved to empty his trash can. "I'm saving money to send home to my family." Kenya. Joon-Woo had been to Africa once, for business. He remembered vast skies and a different kind of beauty than the city offered. "Why did you leave?" Nala paused for just a moment, then continued dusting his bookshelf. "My mother got sick. The medicine is expensive. My 2 younger brothers need school fees. Here, I can work 3 jobs and send enough home to help them." She said it simply, like these facts were just part of life. No self-pity, no asking for sympathy. Something twisted in Joon-Woo's chest. He ignored it. 3 jobs? "Yes, sir. I clean offices at night, work at a restaurant during lunch, and help at a laundry in the mornings." Nala smiled a little. "I sleep from 4 to 9. It's enough." "That's a terrible life." The words came out before Joon-Woo could stop them. He didn't usually care about other people's problems. Nala turned to look at him directly for the first time. Her eyes met his without fear. "It's my life, sir. I chose it. That makes it good enough." Nobody talked to him like that. People either feared him or wanted something from him. This woman, this cleaning lady in her cheap uniform, was telling him his opinion didn't matter. And she said it with such quiet dignity that he couldn't even be angry. "Interesting. How old are you?" he asked. 24, sir." Nala moved to clean his desk. She worked around his papers carefully, not touching anything she didn't need to touch. "Is there anything special you need me to do in here?" 24, 4 years younger than him. He had probably destroyed more lives than she had lived years. "Just clean." "But Nala?" "Yes, sir. From now on, you only clean my office. Nobody else's. Come every night at midnight. I'll make sure you're paid extra for the exclusive service." Joon-Woo had no idea why he was saying this. He just knew he wanted to see her again, wanted to figure out why she made him feel something he couldn't name. Nala's eyes widened. "Sir, I don't understand. Did I do something wrong in the other offices?" "You did nothing wrong. I'm a very private person. I prefer having the same person handle my space." It was a reasonable lie. "Do you accept?" She needed the money. He could see her calculating in her mind. Extra pay meant more for her mother's medicine, more for her brother's school. "Yes, sir. Thank you. I'll be here every midnight." "Good." Joon-Woo returned his attention to his papers, dismissing her. But he was aware of every move she made for the next hour as she cleaned his office. The soft sound of her humming under her breath, the smell of lemon cleaner, the way she carefully straightened his books on the shelf, organizing them by height without being asked. When she finished, she pushed her cart toward the door. "Good night, sir. I hope you have a peaceful rest of your evening." Peaceful. Joon-Woo almost laughed. He hadn't had peace since he was 10 years old, and his father first brought him to a meeting where someone was killed for betraying their family. Peace was for people who lived in the light. He lived in shadows. "Good night, Nala." He watched her leave, and for the first time in years, he looked forward to tomorrow night. What Joon-Woo didn't know was that his security cameras had caught everything, and someone who hated him was already watching those cameras, planning how to use this new information to destroy him. Across the city, in a luxury apartment, Soo-min sat in her silk robe, watching the security feed on her laptop. Her perfectly manicured nails tapped against her wine glass as she watched Joon-Woo talk to the cleaning woman. She had access to his building's security system through her family's connections. She liked keeping track of him. Joon-Woo was supposed to be hers. Their families had discussed marriage since they were teenagers. He was the most powerful, most handsome, most dangerous man she knew. She wanted him like some women wanted air. And now he was interested in a maid, a nobody from Africa who scrubbed toilets for money. "We'll see about that," Soo-min whispered to her empty apartment. She picked up her phone and started making calls. She knew people who could make other people disappear, people who could ruin lives with a few words. Joon-Woo Park belonged to her, and she would destroy anyone who got in her way. Back in his office, Joon-Woo finally packed up his papers and prepared to leave. His hand touched the spot on his desk where Nala had been cleaning. It was perfectly clean now, not a speck of dust. Somehow, his whole office felt different, lighter, like someone had opened a window and let fresh air into a room that had been closed for too long. He shook his head, annoyed with himself. She was just a cleaning woman. He was just bored with the usual type of women who threw themselves at him. That's all this was. Curiosity. It would pass. But as he rode the elevator down to his car, Joon-Woo caught himself smiling at his reflection in the shiny elevator doors, and he couldn't remember the last time he had smiled for real. At midnight tomorrow, she would come back. And maybe, just maybe, his carefully controlled world was about to get very complicated. 3 weeks passed, like a dream Joon-Woo didn't want to wake up from. Every midnight, Nala arrived at his office with her cleaning cart and her honest eyes. Every midnight, he found excuses to stay late and talk to her while she worked. They discussed everything. Her childhood in Kenya, running through red dirt roads with her brothers. His childhood in Seoul before moving to America. Sitting in his father's office, learning the family business. She told him about the foods she missed from home. He told her about the pressure of living up to his family name. He never told her what his business really was. She never asked. Maybe she didn't want to know. Maybe she had already guessed and decided it didn't matter. On the 21st night, something changed. Joon-Woo had spent the day handling a situation that went bad. A deal fell through. Shots were fired. Nobody died, but it was close. Too close. When Nala walked in at midnight, his hands were shaking from adrenaline he couldn't quite release. "Sir, are you all right?" She set down her cleaning supplies immediately and walked toward his desk. Her face showed real concern, not the fake worry he usually got from people who wanted something from him. "I'm fine." The lie tasted bitter. Nala came closer, close enough that he could smell her soap. Something simple and clean. "You're not fine. Your hands are shaking." "It's nothing." But even as he said it, Joon-Woo realized how tired he was. Tired of pretending nothing touched him. Tired of being alone in rooms full of people. Tired of being the cold man everyone feared. "It's not nothing." Nala did something completely unexpected. She reached out and took one of his shaking hands in both of hers. Her hands were warm, steady, real. Whatever happened today, you're safe now. You're here. You're all right. Something broke inside him. Some wall he had built when he was 10 years old, watching his first violent death. Some protection that had kept him alive, but also kept him from living, before he could think about whether this was smart or stupid or dangerous. Joon-Woo stood up and pulled Nala into his arms. She gasped, but didn't pull away. He buried his face in her shoulder and just breathed. Breathed in her smell, breathed in her warmth, breathed in the feeling of being held by someone who didn't want anything from him except to make him feel better. "I'm sorry," he whispered against her hair. "I shouldn't. It's okay." Nala's arms came up around him. She was so much smaller than him, but somehow it felt like she was the one protecting him. "Everyone needs someone sometimes, even you." They stood like that for a long moment. Then Joon-Woo pulled back just enough to look at her face. Her eyes were soft, full of something that made his heart beat in a way it never had before. Without thinking, without planning, without his usual control, he lowered his head and kissed her. The kiss started gentle, sweet, like asking a question. But then Nala's lips moved under his, answering yes, and the gentleness burned away into something else, something hungry and desperate, and more real than anything Joon-Woo had ever felt. His hands came up to cup her face. Her fingers gripped his shirt. The kiss deepened until they were both breathing hard. "Nala," he said against her lips, "we should stop." "I know." But she kissed him again. "This is wrong. I'm your employer. You work for me." "I know." Another kiss. "I'm not a good man. I've done terrible things." "I know." She pulled back and looked him straight in the eyes. "I'm not stupid, Joon-Woo. I know what kind of business you probably run. I've seen the men who come to your office. I've seen the security. I've heard whispers. I know you're dangerous." It was the first time she had used his first name. It sounded perfect in her voice. "Then why are you still here?" he asked. "Because when you talk about your mother and how much you miss Korea, your eyes get soft. Because you always say thank you when I clean, which most rich people never do. Because you ask me about my dreams, and you actually listen to the answer. Because under all the cold and the danger, I see someone who's lonely, just like me." Nala touched his face gently. "Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm stupid. But I don't think you're as bad as you pretend to be." Joon-Woo had never wanted anything as much as he wanted her in that moment. "If we do this, if we start this, I can't promise I'll be good at it. I don't know how to love someone. Then we'll learn together." Nala smiled, and it was like the sun coming up. "I've never done this before, any of it. I'm scared too." He understood what she meant. Virgin. The word made something possessive and protective roar to life inside him. She was giving him something precious, something nobody else had ever touched. "Are you sure?" "I've never been more sure of anything." She kissed him again, and this time neither of them pulled back. What happened next was slow and sweet and desperate all at once. Joon-Woo locked his office door. He had a private room attached with a couch that turned into a bed for the nights he worked too late to go home. He led Nala there, his hand shaking again, but this time from want instead of fear. He took his time with her, kissed every inch of skin as he slowly removed her uniform, whispered against her ear how beautiful she was, how much he wanted her, how scared he was of these feelings, but how he couldn't stop them. She was nervous, her hands trembling as she unbuttoned his shirt, but she was also brave. She looked at him like he was something wonderful instead of something to fear. When they finally came together, when he felt her body accept his, Joon-Woo realized this was what people meant when they talked about making love. It wasn't just physical, it was emotional, it was spiritual. It was two lonely people finding home in each other. When she cried out his name, when her body tightened around his, when he followed her over that edge, he knew his life had just changed forever. Afterward, they lay tangled together on the small bed, their hearts slowly returning to normal speed. Joon-Woo held her close, one hand stroking her hair, unable to believe this was real. "I've ruined you for anyone else," he said quietly. "You know that, right? I'll never let you go now." Nala laughed softly against his chest. "Good, because I don't want to go anywhere." They fell asleep like that, wrapped around each other. For the first time in 18 years, Joon-Woo Park slept without nightmares. But nightmares have a way of finding you even when you're awake. The next morning, Joon-Woo woke alone. For a moment, panic gripped him. Had Nala run away? Had she regretted everything? Then he smelled coffee and heard soft humming from his office. He pulled on his pants and walked out to find Nala, dressed in her uniform again, sitting at his desk with 2 cups of coffee she must have gotten from the building's cafeteria. "Good morning," she said, smiling at him like last night had been as important to her as it was to him. "I didn't know how you take your coffee, so I got it black. There's sugar and cream if you need it." Joon-Woo crossed to her and kissed her properly. "Good morning. You stayed." "Of course I stayed. Where would I go?" Nala handed him a coffee. "But I do have to leave soon. My shift at the restaurant starts in an hour." Reality crashed back in. "Quit the restaurant." "What?" Nala blinked at him. "Quit the restaurant. Quit the laundry, too. I'll pay you enough that you only need this one job. Actually, you don't need any job. I'll just give you money." Nala's smile faded. She set down her coffee carefully. "Joon-Woo, I like you. I really, really like you. Maybe more than like. But I'm not going to be your kept woman. I work for my money. It's important to me." I didn't mean it like that. But he had. Kind of. He wanted to take care of her. Wanted to make her life easier. "I know you didn't. But that's what it sounds like." Nala stood up. "I have to go. Can I see you tonight?" "Yes, please." Joon-Woo caught her hand. "I'm sorry. I'm not good at this relationship thing. I'm going to mess up a lot. As long as you keep trying, we'll be okay." She kissed him quickly and left, leaving him standing in his office, feeling more confused and more alive than he had ever felt. His phone buzzed. His brother, Hae-jin. "Coffee. Need to talk to you about something." Joon-Woo texted back that he would meet him in an hour. He showered in his private bathroom, smiling like an idiot the whole time, because he could still smell Nala on his skin. He was getting soft, weak, exactly what his father had warned him against. But God, it felt good. At the coffee shop, Hae-jin took one look at his face and laughed. "Oh no, you met someone." "Shut up." But Joon-Woo couldn't stop smiling. "You did. I never thought I'd see the day." Hae-jin's smile faded a little. "Be careful, brother. You know what kind of enemies we have. If they find out you care about someone, they'll use her against you." "I know." The thought made Joon-Woo's stomach tight with fear. "I'll protect her." "I hope so." Hae-jin sipped his coffee. "Also, Mom is coming to New York next month. She wants to push this marriage with Soo-min again. Tell Mom I'll marry who I want when I want." Joon-Woo had never defied his mother before, but for Nala, he would. This girl must be really special. She is, and that's all Joon-Woo would say. But while the brothers talked, Soo-min was 3 tables away, hidden behind a newspaper, listening to every word. Her perfect face was tight with rage. A girl He had met a girl, and from the security footage, she knew exactly who that girl was. Soo-min made a phone call the moment she left the coffee shop. I need you to find out everything about a woman named Nala. She works for the cleaning company that services the park building. Everything. Where she lives, where she's from, who her family is. I want her entire life in a file on my desk by tomorrow. 24 hours later, Soo-min had her information. Nala from Kenya, family still in Africa, mother sick, brothers young and vulnerable, no father in the picture, no protection, no powerful friends. Perfect. Soo-min picked up the phone again and made an international call. I have a job for you. 3 people in Kenya need to have an accident. Not killed, just scared. Scared enough that their sister in America will do anything to protect them. The man on the other end named his price. Soo-min paid it without blinking. Money meant nothing. Joon-Woo meant everything. Meanwhile, Nala's life was becoming something beautiful. She and Joon-Woo kept their relationship secret, meeting in his office every night. He started picking her up from her other jobs in his private car. She cooked him Kenyan food in his apartment. He taught her Korean words. They talked for hours. They made love slowly and learned each other's bodies like favorite books. Joon-Woo was changing. His brother noticed. His business partners noticed. The cold man was warming up, smiling more, being less cruel in his dealings. He started thinking about getting out of the illegal parts of his business, started planning a future that didn't end in prison or death, all because of Nala. For 6 beautiful weeks, they existed in their private bubble. Then reality exploded it. Nala came to his office one night with her phone in her shaking hand and tears on her face. I got a message. Someone sent me a message. What message? Joon-Woo took the phone. The message was simple, but terrifying. Your brothers are in danger. So is your mother. Leave Joon-Woo Park alone, or next time it won't just be a warning. Attached were photos. Photos of her brothers walking to school. Photos of her mother at the clinic. Photos taken from close range by someone following them. Rage burned through Joon-Woo, so hot he thought he might explode. I'll find who did this. I'll kill them. No. Nala grabbed his arm. No killing. Please. I just need to know my family is safe. They will be safe. I promise you. Joon-Woo pulled out his own phone and started making calls. Within an hour, he had hired bodyguards in Kenya to watch Nala's family. Within 2 hours, he was tracking down who had sent the message. It took 3 days to find the connection. The men watching Nala's family were hired through a company owned by Soo-min's uncle, Soo-min. Joon-Woo confronted her at a charity event where both their families were present. He pulled her into a private room, his hand tight on her arm. Call off your dogs, he said quietly, dangerously. Soo-min smiled like she had won something. I don't know what you're talking about. Kenya, the threats, the men following an innocent family. Call them off, or I will destroy your entire family's business empire. I have enough evidence of your family's illegal activities to put your father in prison for 20 years. The smile faltered. You wouldn't dare. Try me. Joon-Woo leaned close. You and I will never happen. Get that through your head. If you ever threaten Nala or her family again, you'll learn exactly how cruel I can actually be. He left her standing there, shaking with rage and humiliation. He thought it was over. He thought he had won. He didn't realize that he had just made things so much worse. Because the next morning, Soo-min made a different call. This time to Kenya, with different instructions. Make the maid choose between her family and her lover. Make it impossible for her to have both. And that very same day, someone else arrived in New York. Derek, Nala's ex-boyfriend from Kenya, stepped off a plane with a one-way ticket paid for by Sumin and a role to play in destroying Nala's happiness. The storm was coming, and neither Joon-Woo nor Nala saw it until it was too late. If you're loving this story so far, please hit that subscribe button. We'd also love to know where in the world you're watching from. Drop your country in the comments. Your support means everything to us, and there's so much more drama coming your way. Nala was restocking napkins at the restaurant, where she still worked lunches, when a voice from her past made her freeze. "Hello, Nala. You look good. America agrees with you." She turned slowly, her heart dropping into her stomach. Derek stood there in clothes that looked too expensive for someone who had been unemployed when she left Kenya 2 years ago. He was smiling, that same charming smile that had fooled her once before. "What are you doing here?" Her voice came out harder than she intended. Good. She wanted him to know she wasn't the same soft girl he had cheated on. "I came to see you, to apologize." Derek moved closer. The lunch crowd ignored them, busy with their meals. "I was stupid, Nala. Letting you go was the biggest mistake of my life. I want another chance." No. Simple. Clean. She had no feelings left for this man. "I've moved on, Derek. You should too." "With who? Some American man who doesn't understand you? Doesn't understand our culture?" Derek's voice got a little harder. "Your mother told me you're sending less money home lately, working fewer jobs. Why? Did you find a rich boyfriend?" Anger flashed through Nala. "My money and my life are none of your business anymore. We broke up, remember? When I caught you with another woman in your bed. I was young and stupid. People change." Derek reached for her hand. She pulled it away. "Just give me a chance to talk properly. 1 coffee, that's all I ask." "No, please leave." Nala picked up her tray of napkins and walked away. Her hands were shaking. Why was Derek here? How could he afford to fly to New York? Something felt wrong about this whole situation. That night, she told Joon-Woo about Derek showing up. They were in his apartment, sitting on his couch with her feet in his lap while he massaged them after her long day. "I don't like this." Joon-Woo's hands tightened on her foot. "First the threats, now your ex appears out of nowhere? Someone is playing games. Maybe it's just coincidence?" But Nala didn't believe that either. "I don't believe in coincidence. Not in my world." Joon-Woo's face went hard. "I'll have him investigated." "You can't investigate everyone who comes near me." Nala pulled her feet back and curled up next to him. "That's not a normal relationship. We don't have a normal relationship. I'm a criminal, remember?" But he said it with a small smile, kissing her forehead. "Former criminal," Nala corrected him. Over the past weeks, Joon-Woo had been slowly selling off the illegal parts of his business. It would take time, but he was trying. For her. "You're going legitimate. For you. Only for you." His phone buzzed. He glanced at it, and his whole body went tense. "What's wrong?" Nala sat up, suddenly worried. "My mother. She's arriving tomorrow instead of next month. She wants to have dinner with me and Soo-min tomorrow night." Joon-Woo looked sick. "She's pushing the marriage again." "You told her about me?" Nala's voice was small. She knew she shouldn't feel insecure, but she couldn't help it. She was a cleaning woman from Kenya. His mother was a powerful Korean woman who expected her son to marry within their social class. "Not yet. I wanted to get further out of the business first. Give her less ammunition to argue with." Joon-Woo cupped her face. "But I will tell her. Soon. I promise." "Okay." Nala kissed him softly. "I trust you." But trust was about to be tested. in ways neither of them expected. The next day, Derek showed up at the restaurant again. And the day after that. He was always polite, always asking for just a few minutes of her time. Nala kept refusing, but his constant presence was wearing on her nerves. On the fourth day, he changed tactics. "Your brother called me, the younger one. He wanted me to tell you that your mother is getting worse. They need more money for a new treatment," the doctor suggested. Nala's blood went cold. "You're lying. Call them yourself." Derek shrugged. "I'm just delivering the message. They're worried you've forgotten about them now that you have a new life here." Guilt crashed through Nala. She had been so wrapped up in Joon-Woo that she hadn't called home in 2 weeks. That was longer than usual. She immediately called her brother after Derek left. The connection was bad, crackling with static, but she heard enough to worry. "Mama needs new medicine. Very expensive. Can you send more money?" Her brother sounded scared. "How much?" Nala was already doing math in her head. Even with Joon-Woo paying her extra, she couldn't afford major medical bills. $2,000. The doctor says we need it soon." Nala's heart sank. That was more than she made in a month. "I'll figure something out, I promise." After she hung up, she sat in the restaurant bathroom and cried. She couldn't ask Joon-Woo for money. That would make her exactly what she swore she wouldn't be, a woman using him for his wealth. But she couldn't let her mother suffer either. Derek found her when her shift ended. "I heard you on the phone. I can help." "How?" Nala was too tired to be suspicious. "I have money now. Good job back home." He pulled out a bank envelope. $2,000. "Consider it making up for how I treated you. No strings attached." "Derek, I can't. Your mother needs help. Your pride can wait." He pressed the envelope into her hands. "Take it. If it makes you feel better, pay me back someday when you can." Nala knew she shouldn't take it, knew there had to be a catch, but the thought of her mother in pain, her brothers scared, was too much. She took the money. "Thank you. I'll pay you back." "I know you will." Derek smiled, but it wasn't a kind smile. It was the smile of someone who had just won a game. "You're a good daughter, Nala. Better than whoever this new boyfriend is deserves." What Nala didn't know was that Derek had recorded their entire conversation, every word, and he was already sending it to Soo-min, who paid for both the recording and the fake story about her mother needing money. That same night, Joon-Woo sat across from his mother and Soo-min at the most expensive Korean restaurant in New York. His mother, Ji-Hye Park, was a small woman with steel in her spine and ice in her eyes. She had not gotten soft just because his father died. "You look well, Joon-Woo." His mother spoke in Korean. She refused to speak English, even though she understood it perfectly. "But I hear rumors that you're neglecting business, getting soft." "I'm restructuring, making our operations more legitimate." Joon-Woo sipped his water. He hadn't touched the expensive wine Soo-min ordered. "Why?" His mother's eyes were sharp. "Your father built this empire. You want to tear it down. I want to build something that won't land me in prison or dead." Joon-Woo met her stare. "Times are changing, Mother. We need to change with them." Soo-min placed her hand on his arm. He wanted to shake it off, but stayed still out of respect for his mother watching. "Joon-Woo has always been smart. If he thinks legitimate business is the future, we should support him." His mother's eyes narrowed. She wasn't stupid. She knew Soo-min was playing a game. "And marriage? Are you ready to settle down? Give me grandchildren?" "When I find the right woman, yes." Joon-Woo finally pulled his arm away from Soo-min. "But I'll choose who I marry. You'll choose someone appropriate." His mother's voice could cut glass. "Someone from a good family. Someone Korean who understands our ways. not some American woman who will dilute our bloodline. Joon-Woo thought of Nala, her warm smile, her strong hands, her fierce independence. She wasn't Korean, but she understood family duty better than most people he knew. What if I've already found someone? The temperature at the table dropped to freezing. His mother's teacup clicked against the saucer with controlled anger. Tell me you haven't been foolish. I've fallen in love, Mother. Isn't that what you wanted? For me to settle down? Joon-Woo knew he was playing with fire, but he was tired of hiding. Love. She said the word like it tasted bad. Love is for people who can afford weakness. We cannot. Who is she? Joon-Woo opened his mouth to answer, but Soo-min beat him to it. She pulled out her phone and placed it on the table. On the screen was a photo of Nala in her cleaning uniform. Her name is Nala. She's from Kenya. She's a cleaning woman who works in your building. Soo-min's voice was sweet poison. She has no education beyond high school. No family connections. No money. Is this the woman you want to bring into the Park family? His mother looked at the photo for a long time. Then she looked at her son with something like pity. No, absolutely not. I forbid this. You can't forbid me from loving someone. Joon-Woo's voice was quiet but firm. I can forbid you from destroying our family name by marrying so far beneath you. His mother stood up. End this relationship immediately. If you don't, I will cut you off from the family completely. No money, no business, no support. You'll be alone with your poor African maid. Is that what you want? If that's what it takes to be with her, yes. Joon-Woo stood too. He had never defied his mother like this, but he had never had something worth defying her for. You're thinking with your body, not your brain. This will pass. His mother's voice got softer, more dangerous. I'm going back to Korea. When I return in 2 months, this will be over and you'll be ready to marry Soo-min. If not, you're no son of mine. She left the restaurant in a sweep of expensive perfume and cold anger. Soo-min stayed behind, smiling at Joon-Woo across the table. You can't win this, she said quietly. Your mother will destroy you both. But it doesn't have to be this way. Send the maid back to Kenya. Marry me. We'll be powerful together. You can have mistresses if you want. I won't care. Just stop this foolishness. Get out of my sight. Joon-Woo threw money on the table and left. He drove straight to Nala's tiny apartment, needing to see her, needing to hold her, needing to remember why he was willing to lose everything. But when Nala opened the door, she looked different. Guilty, scared. In her hand was an envelope of money. Where did that come from? Joon-Woo's stomach twisted. My mother needed medicine. My ex-boyfriend loaned it to me. Nala said the words quickly, defensively. Your ex-boyfriend? Joon-Woo felt something crack inside his chest. The one who showed up out of nowhere. The one who keeps following you. You took money from him. My mother was sick. I had to. Nala's eyes filled with tears. You could have asked me. Joon-Woo was shouting now. He never shouted. I would have given you anything. And then, what would I be? Your charity case? Your kept woman? Nala shouted back. I work for my money. I told you that was important to me. They stared at each other, both breathing hard, both scared, both hurting. This is exactly what they wanted, Joon-Woo said quietly. They're driving a wedge between us. Can't you see that? Maybe the wedge was always there. Nala's voice broke. You're a millionaire crime boss, and I'm a cleaning woman. Maybe this was stupid from the start. Don't say that. Joon-Woo reached for her, but she stepped back. I need time to think. Please, just go. Joon-Woo left, his world crumbling around him. He didn't know that Soo-min had people watching Nala's apartment. He didn't know that his mother had private investigators building a file on Nala to use against her. He didn't know that Derek had been paid to create exactly this fight. All he knew was that he was losing the only person who had ever made him want to be better. And he had no idea how to fight an enemy who was using his own love as a weapon against him. The next morning, Nala didn't show up at his office at midnight, or the next night, or the night after that. On the fourth night, Joon-Woo went to her apartment and found it empty. Her landlord said she had moved out suddenly, leaving no forwarding address. She was gone, and Joon-Woo had never felt more alone in his entire life. The cruel Mafia boss who destroyed every lady had finally found someone he couldn't destroy. Instead, she had destroyed him, or so he thought, because at that very moment, his brother Hae-jin was putting together pieces of a puzzle that would change everything, and what he was discovering would prove that the betrayal went much deeper than anyone imagined. Joon-Woo sat in his dark office, the same office where he first met Nala, and stared at the empty space where her cleaning cart used to sit. 5 days. She had been gone 5 days, and it felt like 5 years. His phone rang constantly with business calls he ignored. His brother had texted 17 times. His mother called from Korea twice. He answered none of them. The door opened without a knock. Only one person was bold enough to do that. Hae-jin walked in, turned on the lights, and threw a thick folder onto the desk. "Stop feeling sorry for yourself and look at that," his brother said. Joon-Woo didn't move. "I'm not in the mood for business." "It's not business. It's proof that you're an idiot. And the woman you love is an even bigger idiot. And you're both letting Soo-min win." Hae-jin sat down and pushed the folder closer. "Open it." Something in his brother's voice made Joon-Woo reach for the folder. Inside were bank statements, phone records, photos, and travel documents. He started reading, and with each page, his blood pressure rose higher. Soo-min had paid for Derek's plane ticket to New York. She had paid him $10,000 to approach Nala. She had hired men in Kenya to follow Nala's family, but not hurt them, just scare them. She had paid a fake doctor to convince Nala's brother that their mother needed expensive new treatment, when actually their mother was recovering fine with the medicine Nala was already sending. The $2,000 Derek gave Nala, that came from Soo-min. All of it was a setup to make Nala take money from her ex, knowing Joon-Woo would find out, and they would fight. That witch, Joon-Woo breathed. That calculating witch. It gets better, or worse, depending on how you look at it. Hae-jin pulled out another paper. Mom knew about all of this. Soo-min went to her with the plan before she executed it. Mom approved it because she thought it would be good for you to have your heart broken by an inappropriate woman. Make you ready to marry someone suitable. Joon-Woo felt like the floor had disappeared beneath him. His own mother had helped orchestrate this? Where is Nala now? That's the problem. I don't know. She disappeared completely. No credit card usage, no phone activity. Her apartment is empty. She didn't show up to any of her jobs. It's like she vanished. Hae-jin leaned forward. But before she disappeared, she withdrew all her savings, $8,000, and she bought a plane ticket. To Kenya. Joon-Woo was already standing. No, to Los Angeles. Then the trail goes cold. Hae-jin stood too. I have people looking for her. But Joon-Woo, you need to understand something. If she ran, if she disappeared this completely, she did it because she thought she was protecting you. Or protecting her family. Or both. I need to find her. Joon-Woo was already grabbing his keys. You need to fix the Soo-min problem first. And the mom problem. Because even if you find Nala, they'll just tear you apart again. Hae-jin grabbed his brother's shoulder. Trust me on this. Handle them first. Then go get your woman. Joon-Woo wanted to argue, wanted to run out and search every airport and bus station until he found her. But his brother was right. He needed to end this properly. Gather everyone. Family meeting tomorrow. Tell Mom to fly back to New York immediately. Tell Soo-min she's invited too. Joon-Woo's voice was cold. The cruel Mafia boss was back. But this time, his cruelty had a purpose. It's time to remind everyone exactly who I am and what I'm capable of. The next evening, the Park family conference room was filled with tension, thick enough to choke on. Joon-Woo's mother sat at one end of the long table, her face carefully neutral. Soo-min sat beside her, looking confident. Various family members and business partners filled the other seats. Hae-jin stood by the door, arms crossed. Joon-Woo walked in last. He placed Hae-jin's folder on the table and opened it calmly. Mother, you taught me many things. You taught me to be strong, to protect family, to never show weakness. Joon-Woo's voice was conversational, almost friendly. That made it more terrifying. But you forgot to teach me something important. You forgot to teach me that love isn't weakness. It's the strongest thing there is. Joon-Woo, this is not the place, his mother started. Be quiet. He said it softly, but everyone in the room froze. Nobody told Ji-hae Park to be quiet. I'm talking now. You'll listen. He turned to Soo-min. You orchestrated an elaborate plan to destroy my relationship with Nala. You paid her ex-boyfriend. You threatened her family. You manipulated her into a situation that would drive us apart. Why? Soo-min's confidence slipped a little. I don't know what you're talking about. Don't lie to me. Joon-Woo slid the bank. Statements across the table. I have proof of every transaction, every payment, every dirty trick. Soo-min's face went white. Here's what's going to happen. Joon-Woo stood up and walked around the table slowly. You're going to transfer $5 million into an account I'll provide. Consider it payment for emotional damages to Nala and her family. You're going to publicly announce that our families will not be merging through marriage, and you're going to stay away from me, from Nala, and from anyone I care about for the rest of your life. You can't make me, Soo-min started, or I release every piece of evidence I have about your family's illegal activities to the FBI. Your father will spend his last years in prison. Your family's business empire will collapse. Choose. Joon-Woo's eyes were dead calm. Soo-min looked at his mother for support. Ji-hae Park looked away. You have 24 hours to wire the money. Joon-Woo turned to his mother. And you approved this plan. You helped hurt an innocent woman because you thought it would teach me a lesson. I was protecting you from making a mistake. His mother's voice was firm, but her hands shook slightly. The only mistake I made was not standing up to you sooner. Joon-Woo sat down directly across from her. I'm leaving the family business completely. Hae-jin will take over. I'm taking my personal fortune, which I earned, and I'm starting clean. Legitimate businesses only. And when I find Nala, I'm going to marry her, whether you approve or not. If you do this, you're disowned. No more family, no more support. His mother's voice cracked on the last word. Then I'm disowned. Joon-Woo stood up. But mother, understand this. When Nala and I have children, your grandchildren, they won't know you. They'll grow up hearing that their grandmother valued pride more than love, that she chose cruelty over compassion. That's your choice to live with. He walked to the door. His mother's voice stopped him. Your father would be ashamed of you. Joon-Woo turned back. My father died alone, killed by enemies he made through his cruel business. He died without friends, without love, with only fear and respect. If he would be ashamed of me choosing a different path, then I'm proud to disappoint him." He left the room. Behind him, his mother sat in silence, tears running down her face, for the first time in 20 years. Haejin followed him out. That was brutal. It needed to be. Joon-Woo pulled out his phone. "Now I need to find Nala. Any updates?" "Actually, yes. One of my contacts spotted her. She's not in Los Angeles anymore." Haejin pulled out his own phone and showed a text. "She's at LAX airport. Looks like she's about to board a flight to Kenya." Joon-Woo was running before his brother finished the sentence. The drive to the airport was the longest 2 hours of his life. Traffic seemed personally designed to keep him from her. He called in favors, had his pilot prep his private plane, arranged for airport security to be contacted. Money could open any door, and for the first time, he was grateful for every dollar he had. He got to the airport and found her gate. Flight to Nairobi, boarding in 30 minutes. He scanned the waiting area desperately. There, in the corner, hood pulled up, small bag at her feet, looking smaller and sadder than he'd ever seen her. Nala. He walked up slowly, afraid she would run. That's not a very good disguise. Nala's head snapped up. Her eyes went wide when she saw him. "How did you find me?" "I'll always find you. Don't you know that by now?" Joon-Woo sat down next to her. "Why did you run?" "Because it was the right thing to do." Tears were already falling down her face. "Your mother hates me. That woman Soo-min is dangerous. I'm causing problems in your life. It's better if I just go home." "Better for who?" "Not for me. I've been miserable without you." Joon-Woo took her hand. She tried to pull away, but he held firm. "I know what Soo-min did. I know she paid Derek. I know she faked the emergency with your mother. I know everything." Nala's face crumpled. "I'm so stupid. I should have known it was a trap." "You're not stupid. You were scared for your family. That's what people like Soo-min count on. They use our love against us." Joon-Woo pulled her into his arms. She resisted for a second, then collapsed against him, sobbing. "But it's over now. She can't hurt you anymore. My mother can't hurt you. I made sure of it." "What did you do?" Nala pulled back to look at him. "I chose you. Over family. Over business. Over everything." Joon-Woo wiped her tears with his thumbs. "I quit the family business. I told my mother I'm marrying you, with or without her blessing. I've made Soo-min pay for what she did to you. And I'm here now, asking you not to get on that plane." "Joon-Woo, you can't just quit your family." Nala was shaking her head. "That's your mother, your brother, your whole life. My whole life was empty before you. Cold and lonely and meaningless." He kissed her forehead. "You walked into my dark office with your cleaning cart and your honest eyes, and you saved me. Let me save you back. Let me protect you. Let me love you the way you deserve." "I'm scared," Nala whispered. "What if your mother never accepts me? What if people judge you for being with me? What if I'm not good enough for your world? Then we'll build a new world, just for us." Joon-Woo stood up and pulled her to her feet. "Come with me. Trust me, one more time." Nala looked at her boarding pass, looked at the gate where her flight was starting to board, looked back at Joon-Woo standing there with his heart in his eyes. She dropped the boarding pass in the trash. "Okay, let's go build that new world." 6 months later, Nala stood in front of a mirror in a beautiful hotel room, looking at herself in 2 wedding dresses. One was a traditional white gown with lace and pearls. The other was a vibrant Kenyan dress, reds and golds, beaded and beautiful. She couldn't choose, so she would wear both. White dress for the ceremony, Kenyan dress for the reception. Behind her, her mother adjusted the veil. Her mother, healthy and glowing, had flown to New York with Nala's brothers 2 months ago, when Joon-Woo had invited them to stay as long as they wanted. He'd hired the best doctors to monitor her mother's health, enrolled her brothers in good schools, given her family everything they needed without making it feel like charity. "You look beautiful," her mother said in their language. "Like a queen." "I feel like I'm dreaming," Nala admitted. "Sometimes I still can't believe this is real." "It's real because you were brave enough to stay, brave enough to love him even when it was hard." Her mother hugged her carefully, mindful of the dress. "Your father would be proud of you." There was a knock on the door. Jin stuck his head in. "Everyone ready? My brother is about to lose his mind out there. He thinks you're going to run away." Nala laughed. "Tell him I'm not going anywhere, ever." The wedding was small, just close friends and the people who mattered. Joon-Woo's mother had not come. That hurt, but Nala understood. Some wounds took time to heal. Maybe one day, Ji-Hai Park would soften. Maybe she wouldn't. Either way, Nala and Joon-Woo had each other. The ceremony was held in a beautiful garden. Nala walked down the aisle to traditional Kenyan music, mixed with Korean instruments. It was perfect. When she reached the altar and saw Joon-Woo standing there in his suit, tears in his eyes, she knew every hard moment had been worth it. "You're so beautiful," he whispered when she took his hands. "You're not so bad yourself," she whispered back, making him smile. They wrote their own vows. When it was Joon-Woo's turn, he took a deep breath. "Nala, you walked into my dark office with your light, and you saved me from a life without meaning. You taught me that being strong means being vulnerable, that being powerful means knowing when to surrender. That love isn't weakness, but the greatest strength there is. I promise to protect you, cherish you, and annoy you with my overprotective tendencies for the rest of our lives. I promise to keep learning how to be a better man, because you deserve nothing less. You are my heart, my home, my forever." There wasn't a dry eye in the garden. Nala's voice shook when it was her turn. "Joon-Woo, you saw me when I was invisible. You valued me when I felt worthless. You chose me when the whole world told you not to. You taught me that I'm worthy of love just as I am, that my dreams matter, that I don't have to be small to make others comfortable. I promise to stand beside you, not behind you, to challenge you when you're wrong, and support you when you're right, to love you in the darkness and in the light. You are my safe place, my adventure, my forever." The officiant barely got through the "you may kiss the bride" part before Joon-Woo pulled her close and kissed her, like they were the only two people in the universe. The reception was a wild mix of Korean and Kenyan traditions. Food from both cultures, music that made everyone dance, speeches that made everyone laugh and cry. Jin gave a toast about how his brother had finally found someone stubborn enough to deal with him. Nala's brothers gave a speech in English and Swahili about how their sister deserved every happiness. Even some of the family members who had been skeptical were won over by the obvious love between the bride and groom. As the night wound down, Joon-Woo and Nala snuck away from the party. They walked through the hotel gardens hand in hand, still in their wedding clothes. "Are you happy?" Joon-Woo asked. "So happy I could burst." Nala leaned her head on his shoulder. "Thank you for fighting for us. Thank you for being worth fighting for." He stopped walking and turned to face her. "I have something to tell you." "What?" Nala looked worried. "Don't panic. It's good news." Joon-Woo smiled. "I bought us a house, big enough for a family. close to the university where you'll finish your nursing degree, with a guest house for your mother and brothers, and a big kitchen where you can teach me to cook Kenyan food properly." Nala's eyes filled with happy tears. A house? For us. For our family. The family we're going to build together. Joon-Woo placed his hand on her stomach. "And I hope we start building that family very soon." Nala kissed him, pouring all her love and hope and dreams into it. When they pulled apart, they were both smiling. 1 year later, Nala sat in a rocking chair in their new house, holding a tiny baby girl with Joon-Woo's eyes and her smile. Joon-Woo sat on the floor at her feet, one hand on her knee, looking at his daughter like she was made of magic. "She's perfect," he whispered. "She is." Nala stroked the baby's soft hair. What should we name her? They had discussed names for months, but couldn't agree. Korean names, Kenyan names, American names. Everything seemed either too common or too complicated. "Giamani," Joon-Woo said suddenly. "G for my mother, hoping she'll soften when she meets her grandchild. Amani, which means peace in Swahili, because this baby brought peace to my heart." Nala's tears fell again, but they were happy tears. "Giamani Park, it's perfect." The doorbell rang. Joon-Woo got up to answer it while Nala stayed with the baby. She heard voices at the door, one familiar, one unexpected. Joon-Woo came back into the room, and behind him, walking slowly and looking nervous, was his mother. "I came to meet my granddaughter," Ji-Hai Park said stiffly. "If the offer still stands." Nala smiled through her tears. "Of course it does. Come meet Giamani." The older woman approached the rocking chair slowly. She looked at the baby, and something in her face cracked. All the coldness melted away, leaving just a grandmother looking at her first grandchild. "She's beautiful," Ji-Hee whispered. "May I hold her?" Nala carefully transferred the baby to her grandmother's arms. Joon-Woo came to stand behind his mother, his hand gentle on her shoulder. For the first time in over a year, mother and son touched without anger between them. "I was wrong," Ji-Hai said quietly, eyes still on the baby. "I let pride blind me. I let old-fashioned ideas stop me from seeing what was right in front of me. My son is happy, truly happy. Because of you, Nala. I'm sorry it took me so long to see it. You're here now," Nala said simply. "That's what matters." As the sun set outside their new house, Joon-Woo looked around the room, his wife in her rocking chair, beautiful and strong, his mother holding his daughter, finally at peace, his brother arriving with food for everyone, Nala's family scheduled to visit next week. This house, full of love and laughter and second chances. The cruel Mafia boss who destroyed every lady had finally been destroyed himself, destroyed and rebuilt by love into someone better, someone worthy of the amazing woman who saw past his darkness to the light he didn't know he had. "What are you thinking about?" Nala asked, seeing the emotion on his face. Joon-Woo crossed to her and kissed her softly. "I'm thinking about how you walked into my office one midnight and changed my entire life. I'm thinking about how grateful I am that you gave me a chance. I'm thinking about forever and how it's not nearly long enough to love you as much as you deserve." "That's a lot of thinking," Nala smiled. "Maybe you should stop thinking and just live. With you, always." He kissed her again, and their baby daughter made a small sound between them, reminding them that their love had created something beautiful and new. Outside, the city lights began to sparkle in the darkness. Inside, a family built from 2 broken pieces had become something whole. Love had won, and that victory was sweeter than any business deal, more valuable than any amount of money, more powerful than any family legacy. This was their forever, and forever started now. If this story touched your heart, please hit that subscribe button so you never miss our next emotional journey. We'd absolutely love to hear from you. Drop a comment below, telling us where in the world you're watching from and what part of this love story made you feel all the feelings. Your support keeps these beautiful stories coming, and we can't wait to bring you more incredible romances that will make you believe in the power of true love.